On Sunday night, James Harden displayed an absolute masterclass in Game 4 of the Eastern Conference semifinals on his home floor against the Boston Celtics. In an overtime thriller, 42 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds while shooting 16 of 23 from the field, 6 of 9 from 3, and a perfect 4 for 4 from the stripe in what was a crucial victory for Philadelphia as the series is now tied 2-2. The most amazing part of it all is that he got to do it with John Howe courtside. John Howe is a survivor of the Michigan State University shooting in February, where 3 students were killed and 5 more injured, John being one of the 5. John was left paralyzed from the shooting and is a big fan of James Harden. When James heard of his story, he reached out and has been supportive of him during his rehabilitation process. Harden promised he would get him to a game when he was ready, and Harden sure did deliver in a myriad of ways.
Oh yeah, it was he's my good luck charm. Just been keeping in contact with him. Obviously, like any of us in here, the tragedy like that to happen, you know what I mean? It's like it's a lot of nonsense that's going on in the world. So for him to be a victim of that is it's heartbreaking, you know what I mean? But he's strong, he's bouncing back, he's recovering very well, and I feel like it's my job to just give him that light, that smile that he deserves, that he needs, and hopefully, today was one of those days where, you know what I mean, he's smiling, and that's all I'm here for.
Harden has now had 2 40-plus point performances in this series alone, perhaps 2 of the best games of Harden's playoff career. But the variance in his play has been a great topic of discussion. In games 2 and 3, he made just 5 shots over 28 attempts, 2 of those makes being threes. In the latter parts of Game 3, at times it looked like Harden wanted nothing to do with the ball, which was a very strange occurrence for him. What we saw in Game 3 was quickly erased in Game 4. What Philadelphia got from Harden in both Game 1 and in Game 4 was sorely needed. The biggest difference between Game 3 and 4 is Harden being more aggressive around the rim. Harden does a great job of breaking down Rob Williams as he extends for a layup before Rob has a chance to swat the shot. Now we go to the fourth quarter where Harden scored 10 of his 42 points. Harden gets the ISO with 6 on the clock, he creates space and gets to his floater. I just want to be clear, less than 36 hours prior to this game, on the same spot of this floor, Harden was actively passing out of these shots while uncontested. A weird funk he was in Game 3, but hopefully the last of it. This is just a beautiful play. He pulls out the dribble on the break, waiting for the trailing Joel, then casually threads the needle between 3 defenders for an easy layup. Harden in isolation, he stuns Jalen on the dribble combo and gets into the paint, creating some separation for the step back 10-footer. Harden gets the switch and finds isolation again. Harden does a great job of keeping his body between Brogdon and the rim, so Brogdon cannot contest the easy layup. In the final moments, Harden has Horford on him once again. The threat of the step back 3 gets Horford just enough off his feet, so Harden can get into the paint and get that floater to tie up the game. And on the final possession, Harden is spaced out into the corner, Joel draws a defender, he kicks out, and the rest is history. In the 2 wins, Harden is averaging 43.5 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, and 7.5 assists, while shooting 62% from the field, 57% from 3, and a perfect 100% from the free throw line, equating to a 77 true shooting percentage. In those 2 wins, the average point margin for Philadelphia is plus 2.5 points. They really needed every single point they got from him. This team goes as far as Harden can take them. With the varying performances so far in this series from James, it's hard to predict who we will see in Game 5 tomorrow. Joel has had 2 generally solid performances in a row, averaging 32 points, 13 boards, and 2 blocks between Games 3 and 4, but as the fourth quarter arrived yesterday, Embiid was very clearly gassed and laboring his knee injury. So far in this series, nobody else has really showed up in the scoring department for Philadelphia. James Harden and Joel Embiid are averaging 55.1 points combined, which would total for 52% of Philadelphia's 106 points per game this series. If Joel and James can continue to perform at this level, while getting some better production from either Tyrese Maxey or Tobias Harris, I believe Philadelphia will find themselves in a great position moving forward in this matchup with the Boston Celtics.